¿Qué pasa to the pack? It is Pack here. In today's video, I am doing my own technically roster update. So how I've been doing it is that every other Thursday, 2K drops a roster update. So the weeks that there isn't a roster update, I go over the players that I think absolutely need a change. How I do that is I look at the player stats in the last 5 games, look at the popular opinions about people right now, and cover it. So I'm going to do the biggest changes I think that need to happen in the newest roster update. If you like the kind of content when it comes to news of players, updates, and all that kind of stuff, please join the pack and subscribe. Let's get in, man. First up, we have Marjan Beauchamp. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong, so I apologize. But he's a 72 overall, but lately he's been starting for the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm sure it's because of injury and other reasons, but look, he's been starting. He's averaging only 20 minutes per game, and then those 20 minutes is averaging 10 points per game on a good efficiency. He's been fantastic. They've absolutely needed as much help as possible outside of their big three. You know, Brook Lopez has stepped up. Bobby Portis has stepped up. You guys already know how good they've been, but it's the rest of the team. And here you see that Beauchamp, a guy that was a 72 overall, is now one of the better players on the team, at least based off of the role that he's been given. It's a big deal. It's a major step up. I'm saying plus 4 to a 76 overall. That would put him at around Javon Carter, which I agree with. A pretty big one. For me, Donovan Mitchell needs to go +2, and I think firmly. Look, Donovan Mitchell in the last 5 games has been one of the leading scorers in the NBA. I almost shot my controller. Averaging around 30 points per game efficiently. This has been one of the best teams in the East consistently. What more does the man need to do? Look, as of today, he is better than Darius Garland. He is a superstar right now. He's been one of the best shooting guards. I mean, I don't see a world where he's not at least a 92 overall. I know that makes him a really high overall rating, but like, he's been playing that way. You know how I am. I believe in, if you've produced, you deserve the rating that you get for how good you've been producing. And he's been producing as a 92 overall. To me, it is a non-debate. He needs to go up massively. Up next on the Memphis Grizzlies, we have Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks is a funny player because he's basically, his job is to score. That's like his job. Hit threes, middies, you know, driving the paint. That's been his job for basically a couple years now. The issue is, yeah, he gets a lot of points, but he's always been pretty inefficient. But lately, ever since, you know, Desmond Bane got injured, Dillon Brooks has stepped up. He's had a much more important role offensively. He's been doing a great job. He's getting a lot more like points per game, and he's been way more efficient lately. That alone to me bumps him up to more or less an 82 overall over Steven Adams. Now, this would still have him firmly below Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr., but I do think that he's around the 4th best player. I do think he's been an 82 overall for the season. The Grizzlies are one of the best teams in the West. What more do I need to say? I mean, he's been very decent. For the Miami Heat, there's a little bit to talk about. So, first is that the Miami Heat are looking a lot better lately. They had a pretty rough start to the season in my opinion, but lately they've been very good. I think Bam Adebayo has been fantastic all year. He's been an amazing defender in the basket, like under the basket. He's been scoring super efficiently, averaging a lot of points and rebounds. I think he's been, to me, this might be an unpopular opinion, but if this team was winning, Bam Adebayo would be a 90 overall. But because they're not winning a lot of games, or at least they weren't winning a lot of games, I have him as an 88, a +1 for him as of today. Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero has been the leading scorer in the last 10 games, I believe. He's been extremely efficient. You know, it's funny. He's only 22, right? Sometimes it feels like he's like fallen off or something, but he's only 22 years old, getting better every season. You know, scoring with the likes of people around his draft class at a very high clip. It's good. Look, I have him as a +3 and 87 overall. If he can continue to do stuff like this, you know, again, his job is just a scorer, but like, he's really damn good at it, and he's been good at it for a while. For the Charlotte Hornets, now I have to apologize. So I was saying how LaMelo Ball to me needed to go down because of, you know, unfairly, because first, his team's not very good, so obviously they weren't really doing well with him. And second, LaMelo Ball was injured until he was coming back from injury. The opposite today. I think he needs to go up. He has an amazing assist to turnover ratio right now, which was a big issue that he had before. And his efficiency has gone up a lot, and he's averaging 26 points per game. Now, the thing is, he's averaging 26 points per game because no one else can really score. But that's not necessarily true. You know, we know that Terry Rozier and Kelly Oubre can score, but now, you know, LaMelo Ball is like the primary scorer while also being a good playmaker. Is impressive. You know, last season he averaged 20 points per game on mid efficiency. Now he's doing 25 points per game on great efficiency. If he can continue that, he's going to be going up and up and up. I have him as an 88 overall for sure. For the Utah Jazz, I'm putting Jordan Clarkson +2. I believe he is the second best player on the Utah Jazz. He's been consistently the second best scorer by far. and it's not even a debate anymore. Mike Conley's good and he's important to the team, but let's not act like Jordan Clarkson has not been the second best player. He is the bucket getter outside of Lauri Markkanen, and he's been doing an amazing job. Now, can you imagine that we were saying a playoff team in the West second best player was Jordan Clarkson? You wouldn't have believed it just last year, but he's been that good. He has shown how good he is, and he's been consistent about how good he is. He deserves to go up. It's just a fact. Man, for the Sacramento Kings, I'm going to put a massive upgrade for Domantas Sabonis. The Kings have been good this year. Straight up, they've been good, like just flat out. Look, De'Aaron Fox is usually the leading scorer for this team, but what Sabonis has been doing lately is undeniable. This is a team that's winning a lot in the West. Sabonis is leading the team in every category in the last 5 games, except for scoring. So because De'Aaron Fox is averaging a little less than him, or a little more than him, but Domantas Sabonis has been way more efficient. He's averaging 70% from the field, 21 points per game. Like, that's video game stats, okay? While being the leading assister, while being the leading rebounder. It's insane. He is playing at an all-NBA level. To me, because they're winning games, because Domantas Sabonis' play, he's a 91 overall. And before you think that's absurd, I mean, he was an all-star with the Pacers. You know, he was averaging 20 and 12 for a couple years, and now he's doing that even better. I have him as a 91. For the New York Knicks, I actually have a lot of changes for the Knicks. First of all, the Knicks have been very good. They've been winning a lot more games. They're the 6th team in the East. You know, people thought that they were calling them the mid-3 of Brunson, Randall, and RJ Barrett, and they've been proving people wrong. They're actually doing pretty decently. Look, I think Jalen Brunson's rating is fine, but I think Julius Randle is the best player on the team. Therefore, he's an 87 overall. I think it's close, but he is an 87 overall as the best player. I don't see him going higher than that. And when he was having his 2021 season, he was averaging around the same points and the numbers and all that stuff. And he was an 88 overall. So that's around on brand of what it's supposed to be. RJ Barrett, I think, needs to be tied with Jalen Brunson. Although Jalen Brunson has been great, RJ Barrett has stepped up. RJ Barrett went from one of the worst players in the NBA statistically to one of the best in the span of 10 games. He's changed his game completely. RJ Barrett's going up. I think it's a non-debate. I think he deserves this, and I think it's perfect. It's awesome. And he deserves it because the Knicks have been great. And Quentin Grimes, all the way in the back, deserves a +4. Quentin Grimes has become a starter on the New York Knicks. His defense has been really, really great, and he's been scoring at a great efficiency. He's been amazing. He has been quintessential for the Knicks to change. You know, having him in the starting lineup with Jalen Brunson has helped the defense out, and they've been a lot better team because of it. +4 to a 77 overall, and if he continues to play that way, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes up to like a 79. He's been fantastic. For the Lakers, pretty quickly, I think Dennis Schroeder needs to go +2. You know, because of the loss. It's all dramatic. Because of Anthony Davis's injury, you're going to have people that start scoring, and Dennis Schroeder was the only one that started scoring. So, simple as that. His performance has gone up, like, scoring-wise, so he's going to go to like a 77 overall, in my opinion. For the Orlando Magic, Paolo Banchero, your rookie of the year probably, is absolutely an 86 overall. Statistically, he's been this consistent 25 point per game scorer on good efficiency all season on a bad team. It's been really impressive. You know, usually teams, they adapt to a player doing well, and even though they've adapted to him, it has not mattered. He's not gotten worse at all. So he's been amazing. You could argue other players on this team deserve upgrades, but like more than anything, I think you should be excited for the Orlando Magic because everyone is so young and getting better that this is a good sign, especially if they get one of the lower picks. Like if they get Wemby, for example, that's a really good sign for the Orlando Magic. For the Dallas Mavericks, I have Christian Wood +2. They're finally starting him. Imagine that. And he's actually getting a lot of points and rebounds again. So if the Mavericks can keep using Christian Wood and actually get a good product out of him, then he's going to go to an 86 overall. Now, higher than that, I don't know. Unless his team starts being one of the best in the NBA, I don't see him going higher from an 86 to an 87 overall, for real. For the Brooklyn Nets, Kyrie Irving +3. He has been one of the best players in the NBA in the last 5 games, one of the most efficient. He's looking like that Kyrie Irving that was in Cleveland that was dominating for years when he was at 27 points per game. Yeah, Cleveland years when he had been 25 next to LeBron. But he's doing it at an efficient rate. It's insane. I have him as a 92 to a 91 overall, and that's like easily to me. For the New Orleans Pelicans is CJ McCollum. So CJ McCollum for some reason had a terrible start to the year, but that's changing right now. He goes +2, tied with Brandon Ingram. He's scoring a lot more efficiently. It's essential. If the Pelicans want to be one of the best teams in the West, it can't just be Zion. And CJ McCollum has stepped up, which is essential for this team to win. For the Pistons, I can't say much on it, but Jaden Ivey's been very good. I'm going to have him as a +2 to an 80 overall. He has been, I'd argue, the 3rd best player on this team. Everybody knew he was going to be a good, when they drafted him, everybody knew he was going to be a good player. So no surprise here that Jaden Ivey's succeeding, especially on a team that needs people to play well. So He's getting an opportunity with the Pistons and doing a good job. No surprise, but he is in the 80 overall club in my opinion, and he's one of the only rookies that's in the 80 overall club. That's a big deal. For the Raptors, Pascal Siakam +1 to a 90 overall. This would be the first time Pascal Siakam would be the 90 overall club, but he's earned it. He just shot 50 points against the Knicks last night. This team is looking a lot better lately, and that's because of Pascal Siakam's return of injury and stepping up. It's obvious that he's great, and we should not be shocked. This team won an NBA championship with Kawhi Leonard, and Pascal Siakam was the second best player on that team. When Kawhi leaves, we shouldn't be shocked that Siakam's going to step up. That's how it's been. He's deserved this. He's been one of the better players in the NBA. It's impressive. For my San Antonio Spurs, Keldon Johnson finally woke up again. He had a great start to the year. He slowed down really hard and it started to worry me. He's back now. I have him as an 85 overall as the best player on the team. He is the best player on the Spurs. And hopefully we can actually have a good team around him pretty soon in the future. Devin Vassell stays. Like everyone else stays. I think everyone else is fine. But Keldon Johnson is back. He's averaging 24 points per game in the last 5 games on great efficiency and good rebounds. He deserves to go up there. For the Oklahoma City Thunder, I have SGA +2. Now that would make him a 93 overall, which is insane. Look, I know the Thunder do not have a lot of talent and they're one of the worst teams in the NBA. That doesn't change the fact that what SGA is doing is not a fluke. You don't average 31 points per game for a whole season on good efficiency, and it's a fluke. That's not how that works. SGA is having himself a Tracy McGrady Magic kind of season. He's been so damn good. It's impressive. Imagine if they can get some good players around him that healthy. I mean, when Chet Holmgren comes back, who knows? But yes, SGA to me, 93 overall club. If he continues this play, if this was, again, if SGA was on like a team that was a playoff team, he'd be like a 95 overall, even a 96 overall. I'm just saying, but I'm going to have him as a 93 overall. And the final team I'm going to mention is the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm going to go on a little conversation with them. So this team has been without Karl-Anthony Towns for a little bit because of injury, and you guys already knew that. But people act like this team is underperforming when that's just not true. They are 500 right now, 16-16. Yes, are they 10th seed in the West? That's because the West is really good. It is what it is. But they've been really solid. They've been solid. Look, Anthony Edwards +2. I'm going to have him as an 87 overall. He's been the leading scorer. I think he's doing a decent job. He hasn't been perfect, but he's still a young player. He's been doing an amazing job so far. To 87 overall to me, easily. Rudy Gobert, 87 overall, non-debate. Still one of the best defenders in the NBA. Still scoring at a really high clip with great efficiency. That's all you can ask from him. He does it every single year. He's doing it again. They had him at a 90 overall before the Utah Jazz. I don't see a difference here with the Timberwolves. And before you think, well, they're losing, but they're not losing. They're 500. That's without their best player. That's not that bad. And the final player is Naz Reid. Naz Reid, I'm going to go +2 as well. I don't know what's going on with him. He's been playing out of his mind. Again, he's getting a bigger role because of Cat's injury, but he's been amazing. And he's only 23. I remember saying last year that this team is going to be very good because you have not only Cat, Anthony Edwards, and Rudy Gobert, but you have D'Lo, and you have other young players like Jaden McDaniel, who was only 21, averaging 9 points a game. You had Naz Reid averaging 8 points a game as 23 years old. Like, these guys were young, and now they're starting to get better. This team, give them a couple years. It's really early to judge the Timberwolves. They're way better than we think they are. Give them a little bit of time. But okay, that is what I have noticed. What do you guys expect from this new roster update? Leave it in the comments below, and if you like this channel, please give it a sub. I'll see you guys next time.